Now, afeyemra national security in seven so. Last week, the Frontline reported a building belonging to a Ghanaian businessman name withheld. Had an issue with the National Security Coordinator, Edward Kwaku Asumini, Monfan into screen so. Had an issue with the National Security Coordinator, Edward Kwaku Asumini, businessman me pese me boni di now. But onya issue with the National Security Coordinator, Eyora Kwaku Asumini. The number 2 screen is to enter. Our intelligence report indicates that the National Security Coordinator has confiscated the building belonging to our businessman we, and now has converted the building into a national security edifice. And the National Security Coordinator, me pachomofa coordinator picture on tour so that our viewers know who we are talking with. Folks, MCR, please be sharp. Now, we converted a building way belonging to this businessman name withheld into national security edifice. Right? And I'm making the way and say, or use a dino to house some national security junior officers. Now, the worst part of it in here, he take a huge sums of funds as rent into his personal pocket. Afidio and say, Sabosumio, Safio, Eswa, now we call national security coffers, no we call Yisika. Say, sa a dino national security for and a renty. Meanwhile, yes, I net here. Not scanner bound on bottom. Tonight, the Frontline has secured the pictures of the said building. Me catch them say building with the pictures near Dina Beba. I told you, folks. With the pictures, Beba. Now, someone for National Security Coordinator picture map. Please, let's get the building one. Coordinator na ako confiscated it belonging to somebody no. Please give me the pictures on the screen. Let our viewers watch this building. Now, this building currently it was Spinters. And I am daring the National Security Coordinator and the entire National Security Ministry come out and tell me, say a damn way National Security officers in room. Building the suono. Now I'm going to say building KT apartment. And why dear? I don't want to name anybody. This is the building belonging to a top businessman in this country. Kwaku Asumini, the National Security Coordinator, has confiscated it. And I make say a damn way, or the other, or the National Security officers, and one more say a damn way more, or just a damn way, and who they paying rent, folks. And yeah, somewhere air better, sir. And currently, Ora Kwaku Asumini, and all that screen is no. MC a moment yamanye ntemso mama wate na ene jadim. Folks, asem no ehu papa. Na asem we amaking nine. Oma penny His Excellency Adodan Kwaku Fuado. Onim de ekoso. This is the building belonging to a top businessman who confiscated dino every nipa ninsem and all the day ama national security operatives. And one team, this building was Spinters. And there's some indications on K apartment. Mubetimia, Obiabetimia Kwako verify. Yes, I'm not lying. I mean, yatro. Now, on Monday, we promise our listeners and viewers that we shall release some very disturbing national security report about some development going on in the country. Folks, may I say, we have secured a report. And this report is going to tell you something you need to know, including the President of the Republic, His Excellency Adodan Kwaku Fuado. Mr. President, respectfully, report we enyama wenim because enipa ne bebre atna report we are reading this report here for you to know what is going on within the confines, within the yard of the Republic of Ghana. So, Mr. President, lend me your ears, shall we? Now report me or say arrest of Edward Kwaku Annan henchman. Now here. Reports within the National Intelligence Bureau, NIB, indicate emerging disaffection among key officers of the state agency. Information reaching the desk suggests the said key officers have bitterly, listen to me, me was sent here, Ashasana make a true say, Ghana fui, mua meimu, Ghana from woman on mua amanone. Begin to offer some prayers for this nation. Now, what do me catch you? We are Montra on a monya diamope. And then me show say bebre mati the air coso. The air coso ewa himfa Dr. Congo. Mate the air coso Congo or many more. Mate Ghana for mate. Now I see information reaching the desk suggests the said key officers have bitterly complained about proceedings affecting the daily activities of the Bureau. Events of corruption and destruction of the Intelligence Bureau's, quote, spiritual character has occasioned growing concern for Ghana's stability. It has come to the notice of the desk that several foreign nationals, particularly of Asian and Middle Eastern extraction, have brought Ghana's national security devastating disgrace. The foreign nationals who roam the country freely without recourse to Ghana's enviable hospitality are able to cause atrocities with the backing of the wine coordinator's office. Amanfraphobia ba Ghana ha. Wonomo edi atrenchie ewo Ghana ha. Edi ewuo ekoso trouble. Report na kire say sa eniama wosem ne nyama na sam no a sa foreigners according to the report wo mo ancient extraction no a wo di nsamo no Ghana. Wo mo di san nsamo no we with the backing of the National Security Coordinator Ewura Asumani. According to the report, not me. Now, tie. Now, tie. Ose. Listen. Aggrieved investigators within the NIB angrily exposed workings of an individual named, quote, Richard A., who is a younger sibling of Atobra Kwaku, Director General NIB, and a religiously strong collaborator of Edward Asumani, National Security Coordinator. Richard A. is cited to have worked closely with the said foreign nationals on behalf of Edward Asumani. Report reached him say, a brand table so on national security womu money din but womu di din man your friend Richard A. Or yeah, the National Intelligence Director no Bureau no ni kuma eno sign any National Security Coordinator Kwaku Asumani on any year adwuma. Wono no na akabo mu a wo ne foreigners edi bone wo Ghana ha. The activities across the country have devastated economic crop lands, including cocoa and cashew plantations. Similarly, water bodies and natural habitations have seen irreversible destruction. Diseases, including bacterial pathogens such as typhoid, are said to be rampant in specific areas of their illegal operations. As some more can say, Sa Oreya Mabonidin, on a foreigners, Eddie Bonnet, Ewo Meimwa, Wamo say Ghana and Sio, cocoa, cashew, and many crops. As San Yoman Muyen lead to say, ɛde yareɛ ɛbɔ ɔman yare a ebi yɛ bacteria, typhoid, and all sorts of illegal operations ɔmo yɛ a ɛde atoyɛnkyɛm kɛseɛ ɛbɛba ɔman so. Now I don't know what's going on. Now listen. Was it not worthy upon apprehension of some Lebanese and Chinese illegal miners attempting to smuggle their undeclared gold outside the country, mentioned Richard A. as their national security focal person. Subsequently, Richard A. was picked up by the NIB investigators for breach of laws concerning illegal mining, smuggling, and money laundering. Report ni chiremu say, afi the NIB National Investigations Bureau for kwaye investigation. One mo kwache oreya oye Richard A. Any foreign nationals ibia one mu di dwabone ewo de ben gold mu ni nyoma pebere. Na mo che ne yenhwe ade esi ye. Na wo mu hu se osan so edi dwa ewo sika emfa kwan paso na omo di free Ghana ha e de kwa manone money laundering. Now I say further investigators established that Edward Kwaku Annan was to receive and trade the smuggled gold on the Middle Eastern market, specifically Saudi Arabia. Now NIB for the investigation who said sa gold ya one mudi ehudai a national security coordinator in Oshem no mudi said one no the gold in every hakwa on it, specifically report nature say or the copy Saudi Arabia Eastern market or the gold no deco. Nyamina Metro report way was written by National Investigations Bureau NIB. Woman a true report to a national security coordinator no. I don't know so what did I mention us here? We have just intercepted a copy. Or say indications are that the arrest of the smugglers and Richard A. was quietly swept under the carpet while some investigators allegedly received bribes in cash. It will be recalled that Richard A. was also identified as a key facilitator in an illegal transaction concerning Gupta brothers. Munim Gupta brothers. Wait a minute. 2 Asian smugglers who were earlier sentenced in absentia for illegal mining, smuggling, and money laundering. Now, NIB report each said, Ebra one more year report no. NIB officials, investigators, some of them no one more compromise one. Just say a bribe one. Into the report ni kosie and penifo bi sa ko yipie. No man say woman Asian top business guys bi na ye adwuma. Yabobo mu di ebi ni Gupta brothers and the Asian smugglers. Just say hu yi papa wo mebe wura omemu ha. Edi bone editia the Republic of Ghana. Ewudi omudi etia no, wo mudi etia together with wine the National Security Coordinator na ebo omuchidom. Consequently, Richard A. admitted to an undercover operative during a sting operation. Someone named sting operation that he was deeply involved in similar transactions across the country, fronting all sorts of criminal transactions for Edward Annan. Hence, any change at the ministry or in government will not augur well for him, Richard A. Now, ebra wo moye interrogation, Richard A no adia to Mr. Ane. Sa edwaboni ya odi na wedini nara on behalf of Sa National Security Coordinator Ewura Kwaku Annan. No wajitum a sting operation and me ye kwaswa wom and we started so all can inu masem. Na yen kwaswa say the cycle of organized crime and pure criminality continues unabated at the National Security Council Secretariat, an institution mandated to conduct operational activities on behalf of His Excellency the President, is rather unpathologically involved in repugnant activities which undermine the country's social cohesion agenda. One more term say national security outfit yi edwuma samu ye ne se mo be boa omanpanino ne ya boban kese wo memu esisi ndokro da bi afi se edwumaku ankasa ene wonom ne nipa bonefo a wo mu free outside abomu amanfrafo edi bonitia oman. The President of the Republic is hereby called to oust individuals engaged in criminality at the Ministry of National Security to restore the dignified soul of Ghana, our motherland. Now, National Security Housing and Borehole Rig Corruption as follow-up to last week's expose concerning Edward Asumeni, who some 2 years ago allegedly confiscated an edifice from a business mogul, name withheld for now, at Spintex, on the score of tax evasion, has forced disgruntled NIB operatives to collaborate with the desk in exposing the edifice. A dino Kwaku Annan akwako Jeffrey businessman in some what you sika edienu enemy yichremono. And they be reporting. Now here, also the edifice which exclusively houses junior operatives considered sycophants of Asumeni comes at a hefty price tag paid for by tax payers on monthly basis. It is alleged that Asumeni, in connivance with key officials at the Ministry of National Security, renovated the confiscated building, changed documentation of the building, rented same to the Ministry of National Security as a third party, pocketing the rental proceeds, whilst a percentage goes into individuals involved in the deal. Almost say ebra Kwaku Annan CZ dino afi offer kweti kwan bi so wasesa dani na document and a document no waye manaba bedi ono ni diem and afi wo modi gisika every national security or egu omo pocket no and wo dem rantie kogu e dan na egu screen so no yes e dan no report na ka ho asem no ene na busuafo egu screen so no now here or say it will be recalled that a similar transaction involving a borehole drilling rig purchased under the tenure of Mr. Gbevlolate, former National Security Coordinator, is currently being used on a private farm at Nsuta Kwamai by OT, an NSB hooligan, whilst deprived communities lacking drinking water are left to perish. Indications are that plans are far advanced by Asumeni's office to sell the borehole drilling in connivance with Prince Oti, a director and a lawyer, threesome partner of Edward Asumeni. It is established that the borehole drilling rig would be sold under the pretext of a breakdown. Subsequently, same would be sold to a company representing their interest with aim of refurbishing same for their own business enterprise. Their worker wahani na so they say borehole kasiye bia ye kan eye national security former national security minister anase I Lieutenant Larry Gbevlolate wonum ko si ya eno so say eye adwuma ema enipakuo bi no Kwaku Annan ne nkrofo akota hye borehole no say wo mo dane borehole ne nkwanta to deprive the people of Nsuta Kwamai. Masa, very dirty, eh? Now, report ni bisa questions biwa. Mamin kan chemo. Or say, who is the genuine owner of the edifice? A dino a good screen is on a few one mu bisa say dino a wine dia. Report no much no mu bisa questions. Say a dino we a wine dia. Yes, so frontline, we are asking the national security for come out and produce the owners of this building because national security for to die with. The next thing the next thing the front line will be doing about this apartment, I'm not going to reveal it, but we are demanding to know who is the genuine owner of this edifice. Number two, why are selected junior officers housed there? The entire modern national security junior officers are quite die with. Number three, Can the Ministry of National Security release contractual documentation on the edifice to ensure transparency and accountability? National Security for Monfamra Yetremo. 4. Which company holds trusteeship over the edifice and which persons are beneficial owners? And also Yetremo. Number 5. What are the terms and conditions covering the tenancy agreement? Ora kwekwasmini wona dan ehye wonsa ye twen. It is disheartening that mismanagement of the National Security Secretariat continue to happen on the blind side of Honorable Kan Dapa, who is currently saddled with more pressing national issues. Find attached confiscated building sent earlier. It was for any of the documents, you know. Yedi EBC. Yes, very disturbing and very explosive. Enyama bebre ewo document ni mo a ye twen mo na yahwe se national security for mo de ho answers beba. We are patiently waiting. We are not in good times, folks. We are not in good times. Me say bompaye mo me a Christopher woman me say mumpaye emo me Bobima President Akufo-Addo what? Yes, Bobima no. The nation Ghana is not in good standing. No. Me na me catch you. Now the America say between now and the month of July, etumi twemu kwa sa ehun we ni asochi we. Minim baby free ba. Ba ye mompa say MSN ko. With the national security in some BC.